1-drops.
Huh, but he doesn't have the sword. He's 2 Machias.
Oh, instead of the sword, he has an extra Geist. He has an extra Geist and extra Machias instead of the sword, and instead of a...
Yeah, so he's actually playing green-white tokens.
Blade Splicer. Yep. Versus...
Lawrence Creech playing Bant Pod. Now, he leads off with a Ponder off of Seachrome Coast, and he's going to be looking for a Birthing Pod if he doesn't have one, or perhaps he's just fixing some mana, you know.
Yeah, I mean, these Bant Pod decks, definitely fan favorites. Everybody loves to see the Birthing Pod deck in action. Not really a lot of crazy stuff going on in this build, but he does have the Venser Stonehorn lock, which against green-white is pretty harsh. I mean, that's... there's O-rings, but...
4 Oblivion Rings, too, in Andrew's deck, so...
I always hate relying on Oblivion Ring against Pod, though. But they just go get an Acidic Slime at the exact worst possible moment. But Andrew Harris, he's one of those green-white players who actually plays a 1-drop on turn 1. And he's facing down a Viridian Emissary on 2. That's a card that at the beginning of the format, people were like, wow, this card's, you know, like by the second or third week, they realized this card is just unbelievable in the format.
Yeah.
Back when they thought that the format revolved around red aggro and such. Mm-hmm. Now it's merely fine, but it's a lot worse that, you know, decks have changed.
All right, so Andrew plays a second bird, accelerating his mana very quickly, and lands a Mortar Pod.
I was just thinking, I think this might actually be one of those cases where I think Andrew Harris might actually be the control deck. Because, like, if they start going big, Andrew Harris can kill in one hit very easily.
Yeah.
And Lawrence can put down a Scab Ruinator and just clock him pretty easy.
Well, Lawrence has the proverbial cruel ultimatum in his deck. He has Elesh Norn.
That's true.
And Birthing Pod to get it.
So maybe he does just hang out and set up the Elesh Norn.
Yeah.
Or the Stonehorn Lock. So 2 Razorverge Thickets and a Seachrome Coast ensure that Lawrence has just about mana for anything he needs short of a double blue spell. Andrew Harris drops an Elspeth.
At turn 3 Elspeth is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, and this is gonna this puts 6 creatures on the table by the 3rd turn with a Gavoni Township. This is, even if he has nothing else in his hand, this is a very nice selection of spells and mana for Harris. This sort of puts the burden on Lawrence to hurry up and get something done because he doesn't really have any way at all to sweep the board short of an Elesh Norn. He's got literally all the toys, though. Does he even have Archon of Justice? He does not. I don't think he has Archon of Justice, but he's got just about everything else. Mm-hmm. Metamorph, Phantasmal Images, Fiend Hunter, Dignitary, Frost Titan, Worm. He's got like every optional guy except for the... And he's got Oblivion Rings himself to get a little bit of interaction. Oh, he does have Archon of Justice.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Part as an afterthought. It looks like he put it in his spells category, but I guess he ran out of room. He's got so many creatures.
Yeah.
It's always interesting trying to see how these guys build their mana bases. You know, 3-color mana bases in this format, very challenging to build. From the looks of it, obviously 4 Razorverge Thicket, 4 Hinterland Harbor, 4 Seachrome Coast. Not a lot else besides that, just a few basics and I guess 1 Glacial Fortress. But so we see another tap land from Lawrence, and he drops, what is that? It's a 3-drop. Is that Blade Splicer?
Blade Splicer.
It is Blade Splicer. So he's definitely going to hold off Harris for the time being until the pumping starts. This buys him a little bit of time, but he's got to be careful because things are going to start getting exponential. He's got to get down. He's got to find a way to set up either a big flyer or an Elesh Norn, right? Like he needs to get one of his aces going. He can't grind out the green-white token deck. They'll get too big.
They're just gonna. And now he has Geist Honor Monk this turn if he wants it to.
Wow, Geist Honor Monk would be enormous.
Yes, it would be a very big boy.
It gets blocked forever though by but the fact that it presents 2 flyers in addition to being being the Abyss. Goes with Garruk Relentless instead. Do you think he's gonna to shoot a guy to flip it? Is he gonna shoot the 1/1 just to get the easy flip? Or is he just gonna make a wolf?
I don't know.
He does. He just makes the wolf.
That's fine.
It's a faster clock. It's more aggressive, you know. Besides, he's got to figure the Bant Pod deck isn't exactly loaded with ways to deal with Planeswalkers. One of the big weaknesses of these Bant Pod players. He's got O-Ring, just something. Blade Splicer and Viridian Emissary, I guess, would help if it weren't for the fact that Green-White Tokens has so many blockers.
Yeah, they just have like an unstoppable number of blockers. So
Elspeth gaining a quick 7 life or 6 life.
it's like a lot more than that.
No, it's just your side.
Yeah, 7, right?
Is it just the Mortarpod doesn't have a guy on it?
Oh, the
though,
Mortarpod doesn't have a guy on it anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Lawrence, gonna have to present something big pretty soon here. Because, like, he's looking at 2 Planeswalkers. Garruk is just, Garruk is an ace in the hole, but the fact that he's also working on Elspeth, he splits them up. Huh. And he's attacking. Does this mean he's gonna drop a Stonehorn Dignitary?
I think so.
Interesting. He doesn't have any sweepers or anything. He definitely, I guess he can just. He kept the Blade Splicer home. He could play a Birthing Pod, sack the Blade Splicer, and go get a Dignitary. That's going to buy him so, with the sheer volume of copy effects he has, that would buy him, assuming that Harris doesn't have an O-Ring, that would buy him an unbelievable amount of time.
Yeah.
So, Harris goes with the intuitive play, the block with the token, sack, the token has Mortarpod on it, block, sack, shoot the Emissary. Lawrence does get that extra land, making him one step closer to casting some kind of a Titan or a Elishnorn. I kind of think we're going to see a Birthing Pod and then go get Stoneheart Dignitary. But we'll see. It feels like that's the sort of thing that he would do. O-Ring. Interesting. And we see, is it a Phantasmal Image?
He's going to copy Bird of Paradise. He has Elishnorn in hand.
Oh wow, so he can just combo off next turn with these threatening lethal?
Yep.
No, he does copy the Blade Splicer.
Okay, that's
Just better safe than sorry, I guess, because he's facing Mortarpod. If he copied the Bird of Paradise, surely Mortarpod would shoot the bird.
Yeah, but Mortarpod can just shoot this. It's a Phantasmal Image.
Yeah, but he still has the Golem.
Oh, you're right. Okay. But would he really do that? That's 2 mana.
Oh, absolutely.
And
if my opponent copied a Bird of Paradise instead of a Blade
I guess
Splicer,
it's an Elishnorn.
like the jig is up.
Yeah.
Like, he has Garruk too, so he has to. Yeah, you don't want to play a bird. Garruk can just eat it for free. You don't even have to sack anything if you want it. I guess it's not for free because you're not getting the 2/2 wolf, but
you just point at something and it dies.
yeah, just look. You will die. But Elishnorn is the end of the world for Andrew Harris's entire game.
Yes, it is.
But Lawrence is still 1 land away from that. So, the thing is, though, Harris has a long way to go. It was important to get rid of the Elspeth first, though. Otherwise, it's no fun if, like, you do sweep his board, but then if Elspeth just kills your Elishnorn, you're still behind. You know? Like if Elspeth's at 6, and Elishnorn wraths Harris' side of the board, but then Elspeth just drops to 1 and wraths Lawrence's side of the board, the guy that has the Elspeth on 1 is still ahead.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to find out. This is the moment of truth. Does
Land?
Lawrence have a land? He
Yep.
already had it. Elishnorn. Well,
And
at least 2 of the wolves will live. This is a really bad turn of events for Mr. Harris.
yeah.
It's not really realistic for him to do anything at this point, right? Like that's the cruel ultimatum you described.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I was talking about the proverbial cruel ultimatum.
Yeah, that it's just over, right? Mm-hmm. There is always a greater power.
All right, so he does have Oblivion Ring. ×2. Some Some lower
So in
Oblivion Rings.
theory, he can make it like he can try to stabilize. I mean, he lost both of his planeswalkers and most of his army, but it's not hopeless, right? Like he's got 2 guys, a township, plenty of mana. He doesn't have the mortar pod, and Creech doesn't have an Elesh Norn in his deck anymore,
Yeah, but he does have ways to destroy the Oblivion Ring.
which would be catastrophic. But we
Yes.
have to assume he doesn't draw any of those or birthing pods.
Yeah, because any birthing pod immediately just turns into a way to...
Yes. No, he doesn't
he's-
have Sylvok Replica. But
Oh, he doesn't?
He doesn't have Replica, but he does have Acidic Slime.
Okay.
And he backdoors Archon Justice, of course. Plus, he can actually just Venser, is it too? He just Venser's O-Ring.
Can you only do permanent secret control?
Your own O-Ring. He has an O-Ring on his opponent's Elspeth.
Oh, yeah.
And then when the Elspeth comes in, you just attack it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he has tons of outs. Like,
Oh, no,
he
his
doesn't
own
even
O-Ring
need
is-
outs at this point, but...
And then when the O-Ring comes back, it O-Rings the other O-Ring that's on the Elesh Norn. But anyway, either way, like, obviously Lawrence Creech in a real good position this game. These Bant Pod decks, another deck that it always looks a lot better when they draw their mana.
Yeah, it's a birthing pod, that's it.
Wow. I mean, Bant Pod was had a little bit of a following at the very beginning of the season. It kind of died off again, but recently it's been making an upswing again. It top aided the last GP in Hiroshima. Having the Pilgrim really does, and the 8 Scars lands really does make the mana a little bit better. And in Standard, so often it seems like one of the important things is how good is your mana base? Can you actually, can you pull it off? So what's he going to get right here?
Solemn Simulacrum, I assume.
He sacked a 3.
Now he sacked a 3 and got another birthing pod, and then sacrificed another 3 and got Solemn Simulacrum.
Okay.
Seems like the right play.
It's possible. I mean, it's also often really nice to just go get another Metamorph. If you get a Metamorph to copy your birthing pod and just keep going. But it depends on what you're trying to do, I guess. Sounds like he just wants to get his 4.
Well, he already got a Metamorph to copy the birthing pod.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and then he used that extra
That's
birthing pod
excellent. That's
to get
beautiful.
the-
And now the Simulacrum's perfect to be sacked to go get the Acidic
Acidic Slime, which will give him back the Elesh
Or
Norn.
just go get Archon of Justice, if nothing else, and then sack the Archon of Justice, exile the O-Ring, and go get a 6 from the Archon.
Yeah, that's fine
I
too.
guess the Acidic Slime's probably better. You just do it anyway.
Hey, just
Either way.
because then the Acidic Slime's like a 4/4, and all of your guys get +2/+2 right away.
Well, you're stacking the Acidic Slime to get a 6, presumably, because you have 2 birthing pods.
You're right.
Overrun. The old value overrun. Just overrun for a mild amount of damage, a mild amount of value. Think this is not going to be relevant. It's actually kind of surprising that he doesn't just Gavani Township his guys so that they'll live through the Elesh Norn. Like, you're not stopping the Elesh Norn from coming down again next turn. And at least, like, the Pilgrim, I guess it's only the Pilgrim, but I don't know. Either way, this is the old, let's see, that's 3, 6, 12, 17. So, absolutely no way to lure the Solemn Simulacrum into the red zone.
I mean, I guess Lawrence could have just gotten the Stoneheart Dignitary instead of the Solemn Simulacrum.
Yeah.
Would have been fine.
Yeah. I'm not sure that Simulacrum's actually right. Like, the value is the last thing you need, right? Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't need any value right now.
Elesh Norn is the only thing that matters. The literal only thing that matters.
So, and his own life total, right? Like, which
Yes,
is the Stonehorn,
yes.
Oh, get that 2 points of damage in there. Sure. So, now we're going to find out. Acidic Slime or Archon of Justice? What is Lawrence Creech's style?
No, we're about to find out.
He goes with
the
slime.
slime.
He does go with the slime. Destroying O-Ring, meaning Elesh Norn is returning. Shocking. Sacks the Acidic Slime. Now, does he get Frost Titan or Worm Coil Engine?
Worm Coil or Sun Titan? Yeah.
Or Sun Titan. He probably gets Sun Titan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you got a Phantasmal Image, which
Copied to Sun Titan.
copied Sun Titan,
Which got back a
returned
Blade Splicer.
Blade Splicer.
And a Phantasmal Image on a Sun Titan, getting back for an Emissary. So, after committing 26 times
Yeah, he
3,
just used 2 birthing pods
12,
to
36,
make to turn
41. So after committing
a
41 power,
into 41 power,
and committing
And-
41
and-
power to the board,
and just a lock on his opponent also.
but Oblivion Ring fighting a good fight. Because Elish Norn is the only thing that matters. Or has the work been done? I mean, Creech is at 5 life. I don't think Harris can take 41 damage this turn, though. I don't think that those 3 blockers are anywhere close to living through this. And he's getting
also
attacked by
do not
3
think-
Sun Titans, too.
Yeah. It's
Na 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 na. Na na na.
it's a wrap.
Speaking of rap, what kind of rap do you listen to that relates to Magic? Alright. Yeah, alright, I'm sorry, Magic the Gathering. So we're waiting for the final death blow to be dealt. Lawrence Creech making sure there's not something he's missing. Harris completely tapped out. Maybe he can actually live through the turn though, as it's currently laid out, because the Mortar Pod does let him shoot one of the Sun Titans that's a Phantasmal Image. So he can actually stop.
He can
Forder.
just go get. He can just. Can he just kill it?
What did he just go get?
Run? Why didn't he just get the Stonehorn Dignitary? Fiend Hunter?
Maybe this just kills the board. I mean, if this just kills him on table, I don't know that it does. Certainly more value, because that's what we're
Definitely
short
more
on.
value.
Yeah, I mean, as long as this just kills him on board, that's fine, you know?
But like, value's
No.
irrelevant. You just want if you make your opponent not have attack steps.
No,
then
no, no,
there's
no, no. I'm
way
saying
to
if he
win.
kills this turn.
But he can't kill this turn, can he?
I don't know. I didn't do the math. Who does math? We're in Vegas. So Harris
All right.
could theoretically stop all 3 Sun Titans for a turn and throw away his board. He would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I mean, he's not dead. Creech doesn't even bother attacking.
No, he attacked.
Oh, we just haven't seen the change to Harris's life total yet?
Yeah, I guess he's at 1.
Seems weird to only attack with the Sun Titans. I mean, I know you want to soak up Overrun, but... Alright, packs it in.
And I think the Sun Titan's enough far enough to soak up an overrun. Right? Your opponent only has 2 guys.
Alright, so what are we going to see out of the sideboard? Creech has another Stonehorn Dignitary. We'll probably see that one. Negates are probably good, right? He's only got 2, but you know you don't want too many of that anyway. It's kind of interesting. Andrew's build. No, he has the Planeswalkers and the O-Rings and the Overruns and the Mortar Pods, so he's got plenty of targets.
Yeah, and I mean, he has another cool ultimatum on his board.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. And for those of you who are unaware, I'm referring to Elish Norn.
No, that's in the
Cenobite.
green-white deck. That's not another Cruel Ultimatum. You're looking at the green-white deck. He has his own. This is not the Birthing Pod. This is the Birthing Pod. The Birthing Pod has two negates, a Stonehorn Dignitary, and I guess if he thinks they're good Flash Freeze, but I don't really know that they are. I don't really know. I don't think that's where you want to be there. The main thing is you just want to make sure you, as quickly as possible, defend yourself so that you can buy time to get to your Cruel Ultimatum.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the green-white player...
And also, the green-white player, him casting Elish Norn before the pod deck casts its Elish Norn is
devastating.
Devastating.
So I think we're definitely going to see the Elish Norn come in. He doesn't even wait to tutor it up or anything, but it's just spicy. Oh, he does. Garruk Relentless can flip. Sure. And we'll probably see an extra copy of Garruk Relentless get sideboarded in.
Yep.
We might even see the Fiend Hunter, just because, like, hitting the guy's
I
Scab
like
Ruinator.
Fiend Hunter against...
Absolutely, yeah, I like
and
it.
also, just, like, The fact that like you're able to like RFG things like Viridian Emissary that
yeah.
that are like really good speed bumps against you.
Yeah, plus it's sometimes just tactically a way to get rid of a 6. Like he's got the Worm Coil or whatever, or Elvish Norn for a turn if you are going to hit him with an overrun. I think he brings in Naturalize. I like Naturalize against O-Rings and Birthing Pods. Like he's already seen O-Rings and Birthing Pods and Blade Splicers, not to mention Metamorphs. I mean, like he's got plenty of targets.
Oh yeah, he's definitely bringing in his Naturalize.
You just don't want to be too reactive is the thing. But it is a nice tempo play, you know? Especially when you naturalize the O-Ring for surprise value. Let's see. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But we're gonna see
That's the change they're gonna make.
Harris on the play. He's really looking for a turn 2 3-drop. Like that's I think got to be one of the important keys to this matchup, right? Like just a turn 2 3-drop. Turn 1 either
Extremely
Bird
important.
or Pilgrim. Turn 2 Blade Splicer or Mirran Crusader. And it's not even that bad if he just plays Mikaeus for 2. But as long as he does 1-drop into 3-drop, he's on the right track because then he can follow it up with, like one of his big boom booms, like a Geist Honored Monk or an Elspeth or a Garruk, and then some interactive cards like Naturalize or Fiend Hunter or Oblivion Ring or something to buy himself an extra, like a Time Walk or 2. Because the Bant Pod deck, it does have some acceleration, but it's a little slow to get going. Like it really, really needs to actually, get to the 5, 6, 7 mana. And if he doesn't draw one of his 3 Viridian Emissaries, I mean, he's got 6 mana dudes like the Pilgrims and the Birds. The Mortar Pod is a nice
Mortar Pod
little...
does some work against that. I mean, Andrew's probably bringing in the extra copy of Mortar Pod also.
Oh, he does have an extra copy of Mortar Pod, sure. Now, you don't think he doesn't bring in either sword, does he?
I don't know.
Maybe Feast and Famine. I don't know. It's hard to tell. He's got a lot of colors of guys, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like he has white things. He has
Simulacrums are always good against those too.
Yeah, Blade Splicers are good against those.
Because it doesn't have flyers, really. So like
Bird.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, your Bird could just get Fiend Huntered. And I mean, I don't. Does he have Fiend Hunter?
He surely has one main deck. Yeah, he has one main deck.
Okay.
Yeah, all the Bant Pod people all have a Fiend Hunter main deck. It's one of the big incentives to be white. Isn't that one of the sleeves that they used to have? If it ain't white, it ain't right. Or no, it's if once you go black, you never go back. I'm sorry, I get my racial slur sleeves mixed up sometimes. So we have green white overrun was not enough last game versus Bant Pod. Really, it was like you said, it was just Elvish Norn. He natural drew the Elvish Norn. It's always so brutal when you actually just draw it because it's not even that hard to get to 7 mana.
Oh, it's not hard at all for the deck to get to 7 mana. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, Patrick and I were talking last night about like cards that we've disliked over time, and one card that I said I really disliked was Cruel Ultimatum because I felt like it just put shackles on you in the format because you'd just be counting down till turn 7 if you run a deck with counterspells, and once the person got their 7th like untapped land in play, you lost the game immediately. And people who like didn't think that you lost the game immediately to a Cruel Ultimatum were just wrong. Like you lost the game immediately when your opponent Cruel Ultimatum to you. Like the number of games I won after my opponent Cruel Ultimatum to me, I don't know. I don't even remember any of them.
I think it's higher than the number of games that you win after your opponent Jace the Mind Sculptor ultimates you.
Yes.
But it's less than the number of times that Lindsay Lohan has been in prison. Right, yes. Somewhere in that range.
Yes, somewhere in that range. That's accurate.
Or jail, not prison. I'm sorry, jail.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, what are the keys to the post-Cyber games for Bant Pod? I mean, he's looking for acceleration, obviously, but I mean, I guess he just wants a good curve, right? They both just want a good curve, right? I mean, I guess early on a Viridian Emissary, Birds of Paradise, like he really wants that acceleration.
Yeah, like if he really wants one of these 9 cards, like a Pilgrim, Bird, or Emissary.
So, and he can't afford to miss land drops. He doesn't even have that many land in his deck. He literally only has 22 land in his deck.
That's infuriating.
And he's got 3 Ponders and some Emissaries. Now, granted, this is, I mean, a lot of the old mana bases had only 22 land, but they also had a set, they also had Preordains in addition to Ponders and Lotus Cobras and Sylvan Ranger. So I mean, like this deck seems a little bit like he's a little cheating on mana. He's a little shy on mana. But
I love mana.
Absolutely.
I'd play 28.
I almost wonder if you could play like
I'd play
a
like
Gavoni
24.
Township or two, just to make sure you hit enough land. I mean, obviously you want the colors.
If his colors are already good enough.
He's got a lot of dudes that would be powered up by a Gavoni Township. I don't know. Maybe we need to invent that.
Yeah, we could just invent the Pod Township deck.
How much to get
Pod Town?
How much? Yeah, Pod Town. Welcome to Pod Town.
Look at the Pod Town.
How many ticks are the Pod or the Gavoni Townships right now?
How many ticks? Like,
is this a building on a budget deck waiting to
25
happen?
cents?
Is this a building on a budget deck happening?
This, I mean,
how much is Birthing Pod?
Look at all the rares. They're all these rare one-ofs. They're like
That's
Titans and Planeswalkers. There's a Thrun.
Yeah, so just build the pod deck with no Titans, no Planeswalkers, no dual lands, and no Scab Ruinator. Just use the rest of the cards. And no Elish Norn. Just use the rest of the cards.
Probably be good enough, right?
Dude, how long until they have a building on a budget Pro Tour? But that's the direction they're going, right? Like now, I guess they don't want a building on a budget. They'd rather have building on a... I guess they'd rather have like a Iron Man sealed deck. That way you have to keep buying more cards. Like, really promote... when are they going to start promoting Iron Man as a format? Additionally, we're going to need a 6th level of rarity. Like, we've already got commons, uncommons, rares, mythics, and foils. We needed Yu-Gi-Ohs, right? All right.
All right, so Andrew has turned to Mikaeus. He does not have the 1-drop.
Well, at least he has Mikaeus, but I don't... It's like, what... It keeps making me think you just really want 2 Anor in these green-white decks, because...
That's what I keep saying.
It's a world of difference when you don't have that 1-drop. And you have so many pumpers anyway. You're not going to be flooded too often. I don't know. So we have a turn 3. Is this Blade Splicer? No, it's the Fiend Hunter.
Yeah, it is Fiend Hunter.
Or is it O-Ring? It looks like O-Ring, right? Just because you didn't...
Yeah, it's O-Ring. Fiend Hunter probably would have been positioned differently on the table.
Yeah. Simulacrum? Simulacrum. See, like, when Harris doesn't have a 1-drop, he's so hopelessly behind as long as Creech doesn't stumble on mana. Because, like, now, look at this. It's already, like, Harris has not done any damage, doesn't have a threat on the table, and is already facing Titan mana. And Creech has a Birthing Pod in hand, so next turn the Simulacrum can just turn into an Acidic Slime or an Archon of Justice.
Yep. I think it's going to become a slime.
Just to stunt his mana?
Yeah, I mean, he just...
Oh yeah, and then it turns into a Frost Titan next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, you just beat the board.
Yeah, and then it becomes an Elish Norn, and the game's over.
Oh, Venser, why not?
Yeah,
but he's
sure.
not facing any clock at all.
Here,
now he gets the value, because he is a land, he doesn't have another land.
He loves value.
Well, no, he needs the land anyway. He doesn't have a land, he misses land.
Yeah. That's fine then.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's actually fine.
He's advancing the board. Not only is he getting the extra mana, but now the Venser is 2 turns away from ultimate at the same time that now he can cast almost any card in his deck next turn. What does Harris need to do to turn this around?
He can't.
Okay, so he needs... Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in Magical Christmas Land, but... maybe he drops...
A Garruk and kills the Solemn. Then gets to flip his Garruk. Then... drops mana guys and lands
Creech's
on every
hand
turn.
is fully loaded. Like, I think this one's a wrap, sadly.
All right, let's see. So Andrew's got 5
You're
mana.
gonna play Elspeth, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be. It is Elspeth. That's the only thing he can do that makes a big enough impact.
And I mean, that's not bad. That's...
So, if he draws a land next turn and casts Overrun, like, that's 16.
Oh, no. Does he have a land? Does Lawrence have a land in hand?
Lawrence? No.
Okay, because he has Elish Norn in hand.
Does not have the land in hand. But, I mean, he could just Venser his Solemn and have it next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's...
So, we've got, he's got, like, 6 or 7 cards in hand, including the Elish Norn. Like, he's just figuring out how to extract maximum value and make sure he doesn't accidentally lose to an Overrun.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got Birthing Pod in his hand.
Can he...
He can't go with the Dignitary, though. He doesn't have any easy way to do it.
It's kind of a shame.
but he could always.
I mean, he can't lose the overrun if he just. All he has to do is Birthing Pod, away the Solemn Simulacrum, go get Acidic Slime, destroy a Razor Ridge Thicket, then use the Venser to bounce the Acidic Slime,
And just destroy
a
another
forest.
land. Yeah, I think that actually locks him out. I think that's the line.
And then it's a wrap.
And he even committed a bird to the board too, so he has Elesh Norn next turn.
Yeah, and then next turn he Cruel Ultimatums him.
Yeah, all he needs to
Right,
do,
like-
he just doesn't die to over on this turn, and then as you say, he's got the Tooth and Nail next turn, or the Cruel Ultimatum.
Yeah, like
Elesh Norn.
he has the I Win spell. Perfect.
And he does
Well
the
played
exact
by
one.
Lawrence. And
It's not really conceivable for Harris to make any progress, let alone win. I guess, okay, so he O-rings the Venser. At least he doesn't die to that next turn.
yeah, so
But he can't beat the Birthing Pod. It's a demonic...
you know, if it weren't for the if it weren't for that Oblivion Ring though, Andrew Harris would have no permanence in play this next turn. No.
That's correct.
permanence.
Actual none.
Actual no permanence.
Flawless victory!
All right.
Yep, so Lawrence knows he's in the top 8.
Yeah.
He's excited. Elesh
Yay!
Norn. Harris knew it was coming. Packs it all in.
Oh, I thought he was conceding.
Alright, Harris has got a lot of heart.
I mean, it
gonna
takes a
grind
lot
it
of
out.
heart to.
Or he's a sadomasochist.
Yeah.
So, I think this is probably going to be enough.
I'm pretty sure this is game. Now he can use Birthing Pod to. Oh! Now his opponent has no permanence.
Flawless victory! He does! He Acidic Slime for maximum pain. I like this style.
this
They're
is
both
about
joking, laughing, having a good time.
I mean, this is pretty awesome.
Ah! He's gonna stick it out. He looks at the clock, takes a little check. Are we in the 3rd turn of extra time right now? No, it appears we have 14 minutes left. Harris goes into the tank. He's debating his options for blocking. He decides no blocks.
A Worm Coil Engine for Lawrence. Is that
gonna be
enough?
The lifelink works really well with Elesh Norn because you end up gaining extra 8 life each turn instead of only 6. So Lawrence swings again, and that's it. Lawrence Creech
That'll be
advances. Andrew Harris over Andrew Harris.
So Lawrence Creech in the top 8 with Bant Pod.
Bant Pod.
pretty awesome.
Bant Pod is consistently one of the most asked about